Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The Naming Song by Jedediah Berry. The Naming Song is a literary epic fantasy in a world where, some 400 years ago, something fell from the something tree, and all the words went away, the apocalyptic event known as the Silence. And here, some 400 years on, so I guess it's a post-apocalyptic novel, we have all of these committees that exist to return names and to return words to the world. And we journey alongside a courier who is tasked with delivering those names. They ride on trains, and members of this committee divine the new words, and then someone, a courier, has to go out into the world, experience the word, understand the word, live in the word, and then speak it into existence so that it can be distributed into the wider vernacular. It's a really lovely book. It's a book that's interested in language, in story, in what it is to have a name, and how it is that naming something and knowing something allows you to understand it. So one of the interesting things about the magic of the world is that there are border words, words that define one separate state of being from another, dream and wakingness, things like that. And so we really see in the book, light and shadow. Before the word shadow exists, how can you know to look at a shadow? How can you know what lurks in a shadow? And now you have a word for it, and all of a sudden you can see the shadows. It's really lovely in that way, and a sort of a witchy quality to it that I think, in addition to the fact that it's sort of a chilly, seer feeling book, makes it a very appropriate fall read. I think folks who are looking for something that's a little, chilly and autumnal, but not necessarily spooky ooky, are going to have a really good time with The Naming Song as we head into October and deeper into the fall. It's really just, it's one of those books where if you like language and you like playing with language, you're really going to have a good time. It's a book where if you like trains and a world where, everything is connected via rail, you're really going to like it. It's smart and fun, and I had a really great time with it. And so, of course, we had to have a drink for it. And we're going to start our drink, the number 12, named for the train that the naming committee rides on, with 1.5 ounces of rye whiskey. Our nameless courier, the main character of the book, delivers a number of words right at the very beginning, including the word whiskey, and so, of course, we have to have a drink made with whiskey. And this is an unknown whiskey in the source of the book. We don't really know what the agriculture is like. We don't necessarily have names for all of the plants that are being used to make the whiskey, but with that chill and with that sort of gray, wintry, autumnal feeling, rye really feels appropriate to me. It's got that spice, it's got that slight bit of edge that maybe some sweeter whiskeys do not, like bourbon, and it's going to just bring a lovely bite. So we have divined our whiskey, and because we have all of these trains and all of this smoke powered by the ephemera of dreams, all of the draff, all of this junk that comes out when you're dreaming, we're going to add a little bit of smokiness as well with 1/2 ounce of Islay Scotch. So this really smoky, sort of briny, assertive Scotch whiskey. I'm using that Ardbeg 10-year that we like to use here on Bar Cart Bookshelf when we want that real intense punch of scotchiness. And then we'll get 1/2 ounce of maple walnut liqueur, This is another one of those words divined early on. Walnut. And that's going to bring a lovely nuttiness to our drink. This is really easy to make. Look here, you just soak some walnuts and some maple syrup in vodka for a couple of weeks. It's a really nice fall project. You can, adjust to taste, try it out. Brings a really nice fall flavor. And again, it feels appropriate to this world that's just getting itself back into a more understood state. It's a place where there's a lot of this hand-making quality. Then for a touch more sweetness, because of course everything that we've put in here so far is alcoholic and it is going to have that ethanol bite, we're going to get, for texture, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. I'm using a simple syrup that I made with turbinado sugar. Right now it's going to have a little bit more of a caramel quality to it, a little bit more of that like brown sugar, but not all the way into molasses flavor. And that's a really nice one for a lot of fall cocktails, like our number 12. We'll get that in there. And then a couple of dashes of Angostura aromatic bitters, 1 and 2 and 3. As always with bitters, easy to add more, hard to add less. I like that extra punch. If you don't go for that, then, stick to 2. If you do go for that, try 3 or 4 or even more. We've got all of our liquid ingredients here in our mixing glass. Get our ice down in there. Lovely. And start to stir. Perfect. You're going to want to stir until the level of the water is sort of equilibrium with the ice. So really just a lovely book for readers of Piranesi, of Station 11. I think you're going to find a lot in there. It's edited, like many of our Bar Cart Bookshelf favorites, by Carl Engel Laird over at Tor.com. So if you're a fan of like The Locked Tomb, or The Saint of Bright Doors, or The Archive Undying, or Leech, I think you're going to find some things in there that you like as well. It's nice to have that editorial through line. And just really a book that I had been looking forward to and was so pleased to have my expectations met. Just very, very, very excellent. All right, there we go. Get our handy-dandy julep strainer and strain. Perfect. Into an old-fashioned glass over a large ice cube. There you go. And there you have it. This is the number 12, inspired by the naming song by Jedediah Berry. The naming song is available now, and I've got a link to snag it in the description down below. A huge thank you to the publisher, Tor Books, for sending me an advance copy so that I could talk about it on release day. I really do appreciate that. We've got links to various forms of social media, including Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, where there's always a written version of today's recipe. You can check it out there. And a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, which has now been out for 2 weeks. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who has shown up for events for Cocktails and Consoles, who pre-ordered, who has purchased it and discovered it since, who has been making drinks. It means more to me than I can say, and I am so very grateful. And I've got a link to snag that in the description below as well. So, try the drink. Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be a real winner for all of your fall cocktail needs. And until next time, cheers.